Story 1. Don't be polite, be predictable. This means you should not give up your right of way to allow someone to enter traffic, cross an intersection, or merge into a roundabout. Make your stop, wait your turn, and go when it's your turn. Story 2. When you are driving on public roads, you are responsible not only for yourself and those in your vehicle, but also for everyone else you share the road with. Driving is dangerous, and we often become desensitized to this fact. Follow traffic laws and remember that you are accountable for everyone on the road. Story 3. Leave earlier. Leave the house with plenty of time to reach your destination. Please do not let your poor planning become my problem when your impatience results in an accident. Story 4. Plan ahead. If you need to exit in 3 to 5 miles, consider moving to the right. It is frustrating how many people will cross 3 lanes of heavy traffic to make an exit. Story 5. The zipper merge is a method for merging 2 lanes into 1 lane, typically in situations such as construction or accidents. Drivers should fill both lanes as close to the bottleneck as safety allows, then merge into a single lane at that point, alternating cars from each lane. This approach is considered the most efficient way to merge. Story 6. In the United States, turning left on a solid green means you must yield to oncoming traffic. It is not your right of way. A green arrow means it is your right of way. Green does not only mean go. Story 7. If you are about to miss a turn or an exit, let it go. Miss it. It is always the correct choice to take the next turn and loop back instead of cutting across multiple lanes at the last second. It is never worth it. Story 8. You will not teach anyone to be a better or less aggressive driver by being a worse or more aggressive driver toward them. Story 9. Do not tailgate, especially in the right lane. If you want to drive faster, move to the left lane. I strongly dislike individuals who tailgate in the right lane and refuse to switch to the left. Story 10. Assume every other driver is inexperienced. My mother taught me that when I first learned to drive, and unfortunately, it's often true. Story 11. Be predictable. Move out of the left lane if a car is behind you, regardless of the speed limit and your speed. Avoid constantly switching lanes to get ahead in traffic. It only makes the situation worse. If you are among the first cars at a traffic light, pay attention and avoid distractions. There is nothing worse than a distracted driver not moving when the light turns green. Use your turn signal for all lane changes. Story 12. You need to accelerate to overtake a vehicle. Moving into the left lane at 60 miles per hour to pass at 61 is a waste of time for everyone involved. My state's driver manual even states this. Story 13. Leave plenty of room. I know you tailgating drivers are here in this subreddit. Do you know how traffic starts? Chain reactions from braking. You know what helps to prevent traffic? Everyone should coast or use engine braking with enough distance to match the speed and distance of the car in front and behind you. You are not saving any time by tailgating. Your vehicle can pass safely from 3 car lengths away just as easily as it can from 3 inches away. Story 14. Try not to block anyone else's ability to make progress when possible. When the light turns green, proceed promptly but safely. If someone is tailgating, do not try to act as an enforcer of the road and create a hazardous situation for everyone around you. Do not change lanes in front of someone in a way that requires them to brake. Do not proceed through an intersection if you cannot completely clear it before the light turns red. Do not creep up on pedestrians at crosswalks, as they may become more hesitant and you will wait longer. Story 15. Driving is more than just steering your car and making it move. It is an active activity governed by rules. Pay attention to the positions of other vehicles around you, signal your intentions, and never assume that other drivers are attentive. Finally, do not aim to be nice. Aim to be correct. This is especially true regarding right-of-way. Allow cars to merge so everyone can proceed smoothly, but do not wave people through at a 4-way stop simply to be nice. Proceed when it is your turn. Story 16. When I was learning to drive, my dad told me this. Look at everyone around you and imagine the dumbest thing they can do. Then get ready for it to happen. Story 17. Always signal turns and lane changes every time before you turn. Turn signals should indicate intent, not action. In other words, turning on your turn signal after you have started to turn is ineffective and unnecessary. Story 18. If the successful completion of a maneuver in traffic requires that the other driver do the right thing, then it is a mistake. Story 19. Being the best driver on public roads isn't about being the fastest. It's about how smooth and relaxed you are during the drive. Drive like you are a high-class chauffeur driving someone else's Rolls-Royce. Be smooth, calm, precise, and courteous. Story 20. Stay out of the left lane if you are going below the speed limit. You are holding everyone and everything up. Story 21. For the love of God, please increase your speed to match that of the cars on the highway. I can't count how many times I have been behind someone trying to merge while going 35 miles per hour. Story 22. Be an active driver. Avoid overbraking due to distractions. Resume speed promptly when someone slows down in front of you. Leave enough space so that when a vehicle brakes ahead, you have a buffer to avoid sudden braking. Maintain a speed similar to that of other drivers. Essentially, stay alert. Story 23. Square your shoulders, keep your head down, and position your hips in front of your swing to generate power. Then push off the ground with an explosive motion for a 300-yard drive. Story 24. If you are in the fast lane and cars are approaching at a faster pace, change lanes and let them through. Story 25. Miss your turn and circle back. Do not stop in the middle of a travel lane to switch to another lane. Follow the road and turn at a different traffic light, or make a U-turn and return. Do not sit in the left turn lane until the straight lane light turns green simply because you need to go straight. Make the turn, then come back. Do not turn from a straight lane if you need to make a turn. Go straight, then come back. Do not reverse on a one-way road because you missed a parking spot. Drive around the block and return. You are violating road laws and inconveniencing others. If someone did this while you were driving, it would likely upset you, so why do it to others? Story 26. Do not attempt to undertake or overtake at roundabouts. Be patient and wait for the slower driver who has not decided what to do, as they may cut into your lane. Many videos featuring crashes or near misses at roundabouts are shared online because one driver is going too slow while another is impatient. Story 27. Use your signal before completing your lane change or turn. If you brake and slow down to 5 miles per hour, it is ineffective to signal at that point. Use your signal 100 to 200 feet before the turn to allow the car behind you to change lanes or prepare to brake. Story 28. If every driver assumed that others might run red lights, not check their blind spots, or brake suddenly, they would stay more alert, maintain safer following distances, and avoid many accidents. Defensive driving saves lives, yours and those of others. Story 29. Always have a buffer of 5 to 10 minutes at least to get to where you are going. If the drive takes 20 minutes, leave 30 minutes before you need to arrive. Story 30. Don't text and drive. No matter how important you think it is, it's not worth your life or anyone else's. Story 31. I believe that if everyone used their turn signals properly, it would reduce a significant number of traffic-related accidents. Additionally, maintaining a safe distance, especially when driving over 55 miles per hour, is important for safety. Story 32. My dad always said to drive as if everyone else is unaware. Make smart, safe decisions and expect the unexpected. Story 33. Just follow the rules of the road. Stop means stop. If you're too scared to go the speed limit, then maybe you shouldn't be driving. When taking my son to school, I often ended up behind a woman who drives 25 in a 35. It drove me insane, so I had to change our departure time to avoid her. Story 34. Always assume that the person driving in front of you or behind you is impaired, and that you need to exercise extra caution, as that impaired person will almost certainly make a mistake. Story 35. If you're moving slowly on the highway and I decide to overtake you, please don't realize too late that you're not going fast enough when you see me beside you and then speed up. Use cruise control. Specific to Germany, please look before you change into the left lane on the Autobahn. Some of us are traveling at speeds of 250 kilometers per hour or more, and shifting into the left lane in your Skoda Fabia can be extremely dangerous. Be aware that someone may always be driving at high speeds in the free zones of the Autobahn. Story 36. Just drive. No phone, no makeup, no hamburger. Just pay attention. Both hands on the wheel. Story 37. If the person in front of you at the intersection isn't making a right turn on red, don't honk at them. They have a better view of oncoming traffic and the intersection than you do. Story 38. A tip that if everyone followed, we would all be better off. Know and obey traffic laws. We would not have people running red lights or stop signs, using phones while driving, driving under the influence, pulling out in front of traffic, turning across 4 lanes at once, going 25 miles per hour faster than the rest of traffic, closely tailgating, or driving at full speed in heavy rain or snow, along with many other reckless behaviors seen on a daily basis. Accidents would only occur due to equipment or infrastructure failure. Car insurance companies and auto body shops would likely see a reduction of about 95%. Traffic would diminish significantly, and there would be fewer injuries, deaths, and lost productivity, along with many other benefits that are hard to quantify. Story 39. Maintain as much following distance as possible. If you are not going to pass immediately, 8 seconds is ideal. Story 40. Plan ahead. Most exits are in the right lane. You had ample opportunity to move into the lane earlier. Go to the next one, I guess. Story 41. As a tractor-trailer driver, I would say to leave more space between your vehicle and the car in front of you. You cannot control what everyone else does, but you can increase your margins in terms of avoiding rear-ending or being rear-ended. You own the space around your vehicle. Why not stop 2 or 3 vehicle lengths behind the person in front of you? Story 42. Increase following distance, especially on highways. Not only is it safer, as many people follow too closely, but it also reduces sudden braking for lane changes and merges. This allows for a more gradual and smooth movement of cars. Reducing traffic is important because sudden stopping creates a significant ripple effect that can only diminish if fewer cars are entering the slowdown than leaving it. Story 43. 1. Stop tailgating. Just because there is a gap in front of you does not mean you have to close it. Accelerate when you get onto the on-ramp. Story 44. Get off my back. Your reaction time isn't that fast. I hit a deer 2 hours into our 19-hour drive on vacation because of an annoying driver right behind me when we were the only 2 cars. If I had braked to avoid hitting the deer, he would have collided with the back of my car at 70 miles per hour, which would have ended the trip. Instead, I touched the brake pedal and waited a moment for him to react and move over. Another inch of space and I would not have hit the deer. It would have been a complete non-event had he not been tailgating me at 3/4 of a car length on an empty interstate highway. Story 45. I don't know if it's just in Scotland where people are so lazy these days to use indicators, or if it's a worldwide problem. Story 46. Pay more attention and don't drive while tired. Your attention should be focused on driving the fragile machine you are operating at dangerous speeds. If your head is bobbing and you can't keep your eyes open because you are tired, it is the same as driving under the influence, and we all know you are not supposed to do that. Story 47. Leave enough distance to the front car so that if they suddenly apply the brakes, you can safely brake and stop. If there is a problem, then brake. Story 48. Your car will naturally slow down if you let go of the gas pedal. You don't need to constantly brake for situations that only require you to coast along without using gas, especially when going uphill. This advice is particularly relevant for people in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and other hilly cities. Story 49. Turn lanes exist for a reason. When you slow down, stop, or leave half of your car in the driving lane, you have negated the entire point of having a turn lane in the first place. Signal. 2. Position all 4 wheels in the turn lane. 3. Brake. 4. Turn when clear. Story 50. Walk more. Do not use your car for every short journey. If you cannot imagine walking 2 miles, consider biking or taking the bus. Traffic congestion occupies space on the roads, making urban driving and bus trips difficult. Removing all short trips by car will significantly improve the journeys that truly require road travel. Story 51. Assume everyone will pull out in front of you or change lanes without signaling. Provide space accordingly. Story 52. Blinkers. Many accidents could have been prevented if people used their blinkers. That is why they are on the car. Story 53. If you are driving under the speed limit, allow the person behind you to pass. We are not challenging you. We just want to reach our destinations in a timely manner. Do not speed up when someone attempts to pass you, as it can lead to serious accidents. There was a woman who seemed to be on a similar schedule as mine for a while. I would come up behind her when she was driving 40 to 45 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. Each time, she would wait until we reached a passing zone, then slow down even more, simply taking her foot off the accelerator without any harsh braking, allowing me to get around her easily. I do not know who she was, but I may be in love with her. It was such a considerate gesture. Story 54. Drive without G-force. If you lean back when you accelerate, you are applying too much force. If you lean forward when you brake, you are braking too aggressively and may not be maintaining a safe distance. If you lean side to side while cornering, you are maneuvering too aggressively. Almost all accidents, aside from mechanical failures and unforeseen events, can be significantly reduced through proper G-force management. This is crucial during changes in speed or direction, which are inherent to all driving. It is basic physics. Story 55. Stop weaving. You're not going to get there faster by cutting everyone else off. Pick a lane, stay in it, and only leave it if it's ending or if there is a legitimate reason, like someone driving well below the speed limit. And no speeding. Story 56. Old school, I admit, but drive a car with a manual transmission. It keeps you more connected to your vehicle and in touch with what it's doing, how it's feeling, and the road. It also helps to maintain the mindset that you are driving. It's also a lot more fun. Adopt the mindset that when you're driving, you are driving. Don't let yourself space out, and don't mess with the radio unless you can still keep your eyes and attention on the road. Stay off your phone. You are driving a potential weapon that could harm someone or more. Story 57. Avoid hitting your brakes and accelerate more aggressively than other drivers. When you need to slow down, simply take your foot off the gas. When you brake, the vehicle does not anticipate how hard you will brake, resulting in a stronger braking force. This creates a compression wave that contributes to traffic jams. When I drive in traffic, I aim to use my brakes less frequently than the car in front of me, effectively acting as a speed buffer. Many drivers leave traffic lights and enter ramps too slowly. If drivers accelerated more aggressively, it would reduce disruptions when merging into traffic. At a traffic light, no one can accelerate faster than the vehicle ahead. By accelerating quickly, especially as the lead vehicle, you can improve road efficiency. Of course, reckless driving is not advisable. However, many drivers brake too quickly and are overly cautious when accelerating. Addressing these behaviors could significantly alleviate traffic issues. Story 58. If you are not actively passing, get out of the left lane. I do not experience much road rage, but when I do, it is usually because someone who is barely observing the speed limit has decided it is their duty to correct the speeding habits of everyone in the passing lane behind them. Alternatively, they may want to get ahead of someone and do not realize they have to accelerate to do so, taking an excessive amount of time to move out of the way. Slow drivers cause more accidents than fast ones by encouraging others to engage in reckless behavior trying to get around them. I do not mind if you prefer to drive slowly, just do it in the correct lane. Story 59. If you're on the highway between towns, use your cruise control. You may go 15 miles per hour slower uphill and then speed downhill. For the love of your diet, the left lane is for passing. Story 60. Slower traffic. Keep right. Stay off your phone. Maintain a safe distance from the car in front of you. Story 61. Drive like you have a bomb under your seat that will go off if you collide with anything, instead of relying on airbags and seatbelts to save you. Story 62. Be considerate with your headlights. Do not get behind another vehicle and turn on your bright headlights. as they can blind the other driver and increase the risk of an accident. Story 63. When you're behind the wheel, you have one responsibility: driving. Not texting, not reading the newspaper, and not turning around to discipline your kids. Story 64. I'm so frustrated with people stopping 3 car lengths away from the vehicle in front of them at a red light, especially when it causes dedicated turning lanes to be blocked. Story 65. Don't be the person trying to exit the highway and causing a second queue, or holding up the original queue of those exiting properly. Story 66. These days, don't offend anyone, regardless of whether they are in the wrong, because there are too many unreasonable people. Story 67. My pro tip is to avoid driving whenever possible. Use the smallest car necessary and only for the shortest distance. Rent a truck for moving furniture and drive a compact car when public transit is not an option. That's my advice. If you find it too dangerous to drive a small car, bike, or walk to the grocery store, and if children cannot take public transit to soccer practice or walk to their friends' homes, support local representatives who advocate for strong communities, walkable areas, and safe neighborhoods. This will ensure that highways remain accessible when you truly need them. Story 68. 1. Get the right setup. Ball position. Position the ball just inside your front foot. Tee height. Tee it so half the ball sits above the crown of your driver. Stance. Use a wide stance for balance and power, with slightly more weight on your back foot. Grip and relaxation. Neutral grip. Avoid an overly strong or weak grip. Stay loose. Tension kills speed. Relaxed hands and arms promote fluid motion. Use your hips and core. Initiate your downswing with your hips to generate power and consistency. Swing through, not at the ball. Focus on a full, balanced finish to encourage proper acceleration through the ball. Launch, angle, and spin. Optimize for a high launch and low spin. Consider a driver fitting to match shaft flexibility, loft, and face angle to your swing. Practice tempo. Smooth tempo often leads to better contact than swinging at full power. Think of a 3-to-1 ratio, backswing to downswing. Pick a small target. Aim for a specific point in the fairway to improve focus and alignment. Pre-shot routine. Develop a consistent routine to calm nerves and build confidence. Check your alignment. Many poor drives stem from misalignment rather than swing faults. Use alignment sticks or check your feet, hips, and shoulders. 10. Practice with purpose. Don't just hit balls at the range. Simulate course situations and work on both technique and mental approach. Story 69. Have patience. There's no reason to get mad at someone only driving 80 miles per hour in a 65 miles per hour zone when legally, we are allowed to go at most 65 miles per hour. Story 70. Please turn on your headlights in a parking structure. It is dark, and I cannot see you coming. Story 71. Keep a safe distance from the car in front of you. This gives you a much better chance to stop and avoid an accident. Additionally, please use your turn signal. Story 72. Let drivers merge in merge areas. Blocking them will not help you reach your destination any faster during rush hour. Conversely, do not jump from traffic into the merge lane to get ahead of 2 to 3 cars, believing you will reach your destination much faster. Story 73. Keep your eyes on the road, be aware of your surroundings, and stay off your cell phone while driving. Story 74. Ride your bike sometimes instead. It gives you fresh air and exercise while you get things done. A bike trailer can help, reduces pollution and gas usage, saves you money on gas and maintenance, and makes streets slightly more walkable and pleasant. Story 75. Do not use your phone in any capacity while driving. Distracted driving is dangerous. Story 76. Someone actually put thought into the posted speed limit. I am not saying I never exceed the speed limit, but I at least try to stay close to it. Story 77. When you miss your exit on the freeway, do not put your car in reverse to get back to it. Story 78. Use a turn signal, mirrors, and check your blind spots. This also includes proper angling and usage of mirrors. If you can see the side of your car in the side mirrors, you are doing it incorrectly. Story 79. Get up 20 minutes earlier for work, and you will avoid feeling the need to rush and weave through traffic. This lack of stress will improve your overall quality of life. Story 80. You should always turn into the lane closest to you. This means that if you are turning right, you should turn into the rightmost lane, and if you are turning left, you should turn into the leftmost lane. This rule applies to both right and left turns and helps ensure the safety of all drivers on the road. Story 81. Use roundabouts according to the road rules. The car on the roundabout has the right of way, you must yield. You should never give way to the right. Story 82. Your safety on the road is 90% your responsibility and 10% the responsibility of others. This means that other people's safety is 90% on them and 10% on you. People make mistakes and so do you. Be on the lookout so you can help cover for someone else's mistakes, and hopefully, they will do the same for you. Never forget the 10%. Do not react negatively when someone makes a mistake and you have to address it. You likely make mistakes regularly without even noticing, as someone else may have adjusted their speed, touched their brakes, or swerved slightly to keep you safe. Story 83. Dash cameras aren't just for lowering your insurance rates. They can mean the difference between a smooth claim process and the other driver holding you responsible, even if you weren't at fault. Story 84. In heavy traffic, leave plenty of space and avoid repeatedly tapping your brakes. I often coast and drive more frequently than braking hard. Do not drive if you are tired. I don't know the statistics, but driving while fatigued is comparable to driving under the influence. Story 85. Slow down. Don't just assume things will stay the same. Be prepared in case they change, and do not trust others to make the right decisions. Story 86. Use lane discipline. Unless you are overtaking, pull over. Nothing angers people more on a UK motorway than someone cruising down the second lane with nothing in the inside lane, while someone overtakes them very slowly in the third lane. As a result, the entire motorway can be blocked by just 2 cars. Story 87. Rotate your hips and swing outward. Most slices occur because the club head makes clean contact while being swung from outside to inside. Story 88. Follow the traffic regulations. Right of way, speed limits, not obstructing traffic, functioning lights, safe following distance, and proper merging procedures. If people followed the laws, driving would be significantly safer, resulting in lower insurance rates and reduced frustration. Story 89. Drive defensively. Act as though every car is trying to crash into you and break traffic laws. It may be slower and more mentally taxing, but assuming everyone is alert, intelligent, and obeying traffic laws can be dangerous. Story 90. If you aren't passing, get out of the left lane. It's not difficult to make more lane changes, and you're certainly not moving faster than everyone else. Additionally, use your signal. It makes no sense not to. Story 91. The left lane is for passing only. It is a proven fact that people cruising in the left lane cause more accidents than those driving more than 10 miles per hour over the speed limit. It is not your job to slow down traffic. Please move aside so others do not have to weave through traffic to get around you. Story 92. Zipper merge. If everyone maintained a gap of 6 vehicle lengths at all times on the highway, there would be virtually no traffic. Story 93. Enroll in a crash prevention and aggressive driving course. This course will teach you how to avoid accidents or minimize damage to your vehicle in the event of a collision. Story 94. Assume that no one is paying attention on the road. Being predictable also means not lingering in another driver's blind spot. Story 95. Drive defensively. There's no point in getting upset over someone who wants to cut in line. Anticipate the danger and react accordingly. This would honestly prevent 70 to 80% of crashes. Story 96. I have a few points to make. You see the sign telling you to merge or that the lane is ending, so please move over. Stop assuming you can just skip to the front and expect others to let you in. Not everyone will be generous enough to accommodate you. There are drivers on the road who see what you're trying to do and may force you to wait. Stop thinking you are capable of multitasking. Get off your phone and move out of the way. The speed limit is 30, and you're going 20 just to send a text message. Learn how to switch lanes. There's no reason for your car to come to a complete stop while hitting the brakes, especially with cars behind you. Change lanes smoothly and stop waiting until the last minute. You knew your exit or turn was approaching. Your navigation system indicated when you should have moved over a mile ago. And for the love of all that is holy, please stop trying to get around a slow car only to drive at the same slow speed, especially in the fast lane. Please keep moving. Story 97. Don't assume red lights mean everyone stops. Always hesitate and make sure nobody is speeding down the road. Look both ways even when the light turns green. Assume each car on a side street that is waiting to pull out will do so. Keep an eye on every single side street. Story 98. Never drive alongside someone on a 4-lane highway for 2 reasons. First, that person may change lanes. Second, if something happens, you have no escape route. If a dog runs out in front of either of you, your options are to hit the dog or the other car. This is one of the first rules of defensive driving. Story 99. Yield to existing traffic on highways at the entry ramp. You need to pause to merge in. People in the lane traveling over 40 miles per hour cannot slam on the brakes in moving traffic to accommodate you. Story 100. Do not cut off large vehicles such as trucks and buses. Give them ample space when merging in front of them and when they are trying to merge. 90% of the drivers of these vehicles are under strict oversight regarding maximum speeds and GPS-regulated driving habits. You do not want to be on the receiving end of a collision, as large vehicles will always prevail over regular commuter cars. Provide them with space and drive mindfully. Story 101. If you miss your turn or exit, keep going and adjust to turn around at the next street or parking lot. Do not stop traffic by trying to cross multiple lanes. Story 102. Following the 2-second rule will only cost you 2 seconds. Tailgating someone could cost you much more than that. Story 103. Follow merge lane lines as intended. Drivers in the lane to be merged should prepare and make space using the zipper method to allow merging drivers to enter. Story 104. Swing to the right field. It will help if you are slicing the ball to the right. Tuck your right elbow into your body on the backswing as well. Story 105. Following distance. I drove trucks for 25 years, covering over 3 million safe miles. Not one accident on the roads because I always maintained a safe following distance. If everyone practiced safe following distance rules, accidents would decline significantly, and fatalities would nearly vanish. Story 106. The zipper merge is a method where everyone uses all available lanes until it is time to merge. Then, everyone takes turns like good humans. It is simple and would significantly reduce road rage. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.